Welcome to Mindful Money Management, Memoirs of a Hedge Fund Manager. My name is Joel Solomon, and this is Chapter 3, Mindfulness. And there are three main themes to Chapter 3, Mindfulness. Of course, mindfulness and how it applies to money. The second main theme is limiting beliefs. And the third main theme is financial freedom. So let's talk about mindfulness. So I talked a little bit a few weeks ago in the introduction about mindfulness and mindful money management. Mindfulness is just being present, being aware of your surroundings, being observant. And I talked about how being mindful in money management in September 19, 2008 was essential. So what happened was the night before, the Securities and Exchange Commission had banned shorting in financial stocks. And I was running a long, short equity hedge fund focused only on financial stocks. So what did we do? We could have been out of business. But we decided that this was temporary and we were going to take action and have a plan and not react rashly or emotionally. That's being mindful. So we came up with a plan at what prices to get out of half our shorts and get out of the other half of the short based on a target price. And we put this plan in place over the next few weeks. So that's being mindful. It's not being emotional. I talk about in this chapter about how when you're emotional, if you're angry or upset or fearful or depressed or sad, all those negative emotions will not help you to achieve your goals. So being mindful is trying to figure out how your emotions are helping you or not helping you. Now Wayne Dyer said, make your future dream a present reality by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So usually if you're achieving a dream or thinking about a dream or desire, you're pretty happy, you're excited, you're ecstatic. Well, if you could feel that feeling now before it actually happens, then you'll achieve your dreams and desires. So that's mindfulness, and mindfulness applied to money. Let's talk about limiting beliefs. I grew up, and I think most people grow up, believing that you need to work hard to be rich and successful. You need to work hard to be rich and successful. Well, I will tell you, 2008 was the first year in my life that I got paid solely for performance. So I got a relatively small base salary and I got a potentially very large bonus based on my performance. But as many of you know who are watching, 2008 was not a good year in the stock market. Market was down 40%, financial stocks were down 57%, and I was investing in financial stocks. We didn't make much money in 2008, but I was working really, really hard. I was working 70, 80 hours a week. I wasn't present with my daughters. If I was with them, I was probably on the BlackBerry checking research. And then in the evenings that I wasn't with them, and the weekends I wasn't with them, I was working. And I realized towards the end of 2008 that it was not gonna work much longer, because I not only was not being rich and successful, but I was killing myself. And so I realized I had to have more balance in my life, and I need to shift this belief that I need to work hard to be rich and successful to I can work smarter and more productively and be rich and successful. So I started changing my words, changing my thoughts, and changing my actions. Changing my actions by getting later to work, spending more time being present with my kids, and if I wasn't with my kids, I was socializing. I wasn't burning myself out, and I started actually becoming more productive and more present, and we actually had a very good year in 2009. So you can shift your limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs. So let's talk about the third main theme of this chapter, mindfulness, and it's financial freedom. And I teach my prosperity coaching clients about financial freedom. What is financial freedom? The strict technical definition is when your income from passive investments cover your expenses so you don't have to work. And what are passive income investments? Passive income investments can be stocks, bonds, hedge funds, private equity, currencies, or commodities. They could be a side business like Amazon fulfillment. They could be a franchise company that you're not working on 100% of the time. You've delegated that. So any of those kinds of investments that are producing income that cover your expenses, you're financially free. So I talk about how to pay yourself first and how I started paying myself first back in the early 1990s. You take money automatically out of your checking account into a separate account, not into your 401k, not into a retirement account, but into an account that you can invest, that can generate passive income now to cover your expenses. And how I started doing that in the early 1990s and accumulated first amounts to cover emergency expenses and then amounts for savings that I could ultimately invest and then compound that money ultimately towards financial freedom. So those are the three main themes to Chapter 3, Mindfulness. Mindfulness and how it applies to money, how to overcome limiting beliefs and shift them to empowering beliefs, and financial freedom and paying yourself first. So I look forward to seeing you next week. Please give me your comments, the good, the bad, the ugly. And remember, Mindful Money Management, Memoirs of a Hedge Fund Manager is available not only on Amazon.com, but also on JoelSolomon.com or Salomor.com, SALAURMOR.com. Thank you again for listening. I believe in you.